Making headlines this hour, Minister of Education, Higher Education and Skills Development Dr. Ismail Shafiu says the new government-funded building of Arabiya School is scheduled for completion by 31st December 2026. First Lady Sajida Mohammed stresses the importance of working together as a team to strengthen mental well-being in the workplace. Minister of Fisheries, Agriculture and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shiam says problems affecting ice plants previously transferred to Fenaka Corporation have still not been fully resolved.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Idham Naeem. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz says his administration will expand opportunities for young people in higher education, skills development and employment.
The president made the remarks in a message shared on social media to mark International Youth Day. In his message, President Dr. Mohammad Muiz described young people as one of the Maldives' greatest strengths. He also highlighted the creativity, determination and courage of the country's youth, noting that these qualities can bring about significant changes to society and the nation as a whole. The president said young people make up approximately 45% of the Maldives' population and that their dreams and aspirations are an important foundation for building the country's future. He expressed his confidence that his administration will expand opportunities for young people to pursue higher education, develop their skills, and secure employment opportunities. He highlighted the National Apprenticeship Program and the National Service Program as important initiatives being implemented as part of the government's priorities in this area. In his message, the president also expressed his confidence that the Maldives' present and future would progress towards greater prosperity and sustainable development through the efforts of Maldivian youth. The government is undertaking several initiatives aimed at empowering young people. As part of these efforts, it has established a National Youth Advisory Committee. The government is also working to provide opportunities for young people and develop a creative economy that can foster a generation of innovative Maldivian youth. Upskilling and apprenticeship programs are also being implemented with the support of private sector companies, government agencies and institutions to better prepare young people for the workforce. International Youth Day was first observed in 1998. The observance followed a decision taken at a meeting of ministers responsible for youth affairs from various countries to designate 12th August as International Youth Day. The meeting was held in August 1998.
Minister of Education, Higher Education and Skills Development Dr. Ismail Shafiu says the new government-funded building of Al-Madrasatul Arabiyatul Islamiyya or Arabiya School is scheduled for completion by 31st December 2026.
The minister made the remarks during a visit by President Dr. Mohammad Muiz to inspect the progress of the ongoing construction of the new school building. The construction of the new school building was contracted to Rashid Carpentry and Construction RCC by the Ministry of Education, Higher Education and Skills Development on the 12th of November 2024. During his visit to the site, President Muiz met students of Arabiya School and several higher education students who shared their perspectives and aspirations with him. The president assured the students of the government's full support in addressing their concerns and stressed the administration's priority of advancing education. The 8-story facility is expected to feature modern classrooms, state-of-the-art educational resources, and modern amenities. Academic activities at the new building are scheduled to begin in 2027. The development of the facility on a prime plot of land in Male fulfills a key presidential pledge to revitalize Arabiya School and transform it into a premier center for Arabic medium education. President Muiz said he remains committed to ensuring the project is completed to the highest standard and on schedule, allowing the school to move to its new premises.
First Lady Sajida Mohammed stresses the importance of working together as a team to strengthen mental well-being in the workplace.
The First Lady made the remarks while officiating the opening ceremony of the first seminar held in the Maldives on strengthening mental well-being in the workplace. The First Lady said discrimination, discomfort, and a lack of safety in the workplace are among the factors linked to employees' mental well-being. She also highlighted the importance of involving managers at different levels in discussions and decision-making when employees work as a team, and said every individual's mental state requires attention. She also highlighted statistics related to mental health, noting that a 2020-2021 survey showed that 1 in every 5 people in the Maldives had experienced symptoms of depression. She said the findings require serious attention and stressed the need to work together for the well-being of everyone. The First Lady said studies show that institutions with mentally healthy employees recorded fewer cases of absenteeism and tardiness, while also seeing stronger work morale and greater satisfaction among those seeking service from the institution's employees. The seminar on strengthening mental well-being in the workplace is jointly organized by the National Mental Health Department and the Civil Service Commission, focusing on employees' mental well-being in the workplace. A total of 60 participants are taking part in the seminar, including officials primarily involved in human resources across civil service institutions, senior officials from cities, and senior officials from regional hospitals. This is the first time a seminar of this nature has been held in the Maldives.
Parliament accepts a bill proposing amendments to the Foreign Currency Act to revise the criteria for converting foreign currency income into Maldivian rupiah.
The bill was accepted with the votes of all 57 members of parliament who participated in the vote. Following its acceptance, the bill was referred to the Public Accounts Committee for further review. The government-sponsored bill was submitted to Parliament by Horodu Member of Parliament Abdul Sattar Mohammed. The bill seeks to review the criteria used to determine which parties are required under the Foreign Currency Act to deposit foreign currency income into a bank account and which parties are required to convert foreign currency income. It also seeks to strengthen the rules governing foreign currency conversion by Category A establishments. The bill also includes provision to ease the amount of foreign currency that businesses which are 100% Maldivian owned are required to convert into Maldivian rupiah, excluding businesses in the tourism sector and financial institutions. Under the existing law, parties receiving $15 million in foreign currency income are required to deposit the income into a bank account. Under the proposed amendments, the requirement would apply to suppliers of goods and services in the tourism sector, as well as other parties that receive the equivalent of at least $25 million in foreign currency during the previous calendar year from goods sold or services provided. Under the existing law, Category A tourism establishments are required to convert an amount calculated at a rate of $500 for each tourist who arrives at the establishment during a calendar month, based on the total number of tourist arrivals during the month, or 20% of their total income.
The Parliament extends the current second parliamentary session until 20th August, granting lawmakers additional time to complete a slate of pending legislative business. The motion, introduced by Speaker Abdurrahim Abdullah, was approved by a majority of 58 members present at the sitting. Speaker Abdurrahim explained that the extension was necessary to complete some essential work scheduled for this session. Under the Parliament Rules of Procedure, the year is divided into 3 sessions. The first runs from 1st February to 15th May, the second from 1st June to 15th August, and the third from 1st October to the end of November. Accordingly, the second session for 2026 was originally set to conclude on 15th August. However, parliamentary rules allows for a session's duration to be extended when essential businesses remain incomplete, provided the extension is ratified by a majority vote of the members. The 39th National Oratory Competition commences with a prominent focus on the power of the spoken word, where communication skills were highlighted by Hina Walid, the Minister of Arts, Culture and Heritage, as the single most critical attribute in today's professional landscape.
Instilling eloquence and articulateness is also a vital quality that must be cultivated in children to build their character, Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Said, the Minister of Islamic Affairs and Endowments, noted, establishing a dual emphasis on the professional and personal dimensions of speech. Describing public speaking as an art form requiring courage and confidence, Minister Hina observed that oratory transcends simple memorization to convey internal thoughts that resonate emotionally. These events build self-confidence while sharpening critical thinking and problem-solving abilities in youth. Underscoring the religious dimensions, Minister Shaheen recalled that the first 5 verses revealed in the Holy Quran explicitly mentioned reading, demonstrating how articulateness is honored within Islam. Citing Prophet Musa alayhi salam's request for his brother Harun alayhi salam's assistance before Pharaoh due to Harun's superior eloquence, he illustrated how public speaking opens critical life opportunities. The Islamic Affairs Minister added, "Every prophet sent to a nation was capable of explaining Allah Almighty's message in the native tongue of their people."
Minister of Fisheries, Agriculture and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shyam says problems affecting ice plants previously transferred to Fenaka Corporation have still not been fully resolved.
The Fisheries Minister made the remarks during a parliament sitting while outlining government projects and development in the Mauritius fisheries sector. Minister Shyam said one of the biggest problems faced in the fisheries industry when President Dr. Mohamed Muiz assumed office was the transfer of ice plants previously operated by Mauritius Industrial Fisheries Company or MIFCO to Fenaka Corporation under the previous administration. He said the individuals assigned by Fenaka to manage the facilities lacked the necessary expertise to carry out such operations, resulting in major problems at the ice plants. The minister said the issues affecting the ice plants transferred to Fenaka have still not been fully resolved. He said bringing the facilities into full operation would require expenditure amounting to millions, while a decision has also been made to establish new ice plants to replace some of the existing facilities. He said previous administrations had regarded subsidies as the only solution to the challenge facing the sector, while the current administration is working to find genuine solutions to those challenges. Minister Shyam said increasing fish storage capacity to 25,000 tons would allow fish caught during seasonal fishing period to be preserved and sold in overseas market at appropriate prices. He also said the government is working to increase ice productivity capacity, while work on 11 ice plants expected to begin soon. The minister said the current administration is also undertaking more extensive work than previous administrations to introduce systems on fishing vessels that would allow fish to be chilled using seawater. He said the government's objective is to introduce new initiatives in the fisheries and agricultural sectors and create opportunities to generate income that were previously unavailable.
Minister of Fisheries, Agriculture and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shyam says the removal of tariffs imposed by the United Kingdom on fish imported from the Maldives has created a competitive fish buying market in the country.
Speaking during the parliament sitting, the Fisheries Minister said removing the tariff had provided Maldivian exporters with a 20% benefit, creating opportunities for companies to purchase fish at favorable prices. He said companies including Horizon, Ensis, and MIFCO are purchasing fish at good prices. The minister said most fish exported to the United Kingdom is purchased by private companies, which are also offering good prices to fishers. He said MIFCO currently does not purchase fish for less than approximately $1.30 per kilogram and sometimes pays approximately $1.43 per kilogram. Private companies are currently purchasing fish at prices ranging from approximately $1.36 to $1.43 per kilogram. The minister also highlighted challenges in securing better prices for fish, noting that the volume of processed fish remains low. He said this is due to fish canning capacity being limited to a certain level, as well as limitations in fish storage capacity. The United Kingdom is the Maldives' second largest fish export market, while the Maldives ranks as the 9th largest exporter of fish to the United Kingdom. The 20% tariff previously imposed on Maldivian fish exports to the UK has been suspended until the end of 2028. The Maldives exports approximately 16.7 million British pounds to 18 million British pounds worth of fish to the United Kingdom annually. The government has said the Maldives will continue consultations with the United Kingdom government to make the tariff removal permanent.
The Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Ali Sharif, says the number of rangers working to manage protected areas in the Maldives will be doubled before the end of this year.
Although the government has a large number of protected areas, only a small number of rangers are currently working to manage them. The government has now begun efforts to increase the number of rangers and ensure the protected areas are managed to the desired standard. Speaking on the Divehi Rajyage Adu program, Ahashe Bunanang, Minister Sharif said a total of 11 rangers are currently working across different areas of the Maldives. These include Ba Atoll, Sampa Protected Area, Farukolo, Addu City, and Formula City. The minister said a ranger training program has been developed in collaboration with the Maldives National University and preparations are already underway to launch a new training program. He said expanding ranger training to different parts of the Maldives is an important priority of the government. As efforts continue to double the number of rangers before the end of this year, the minister noted that the government is seeking the support of local councils. He noted that arrangements are being made to allocate budgets for each council to have a ranger and to provide the necessary training. There are more than 90 protected areas in the Maldives. The Environment Ministry has also said that rangers are needed to ensure these areas are managed sustainably. As a result, the ministry is working with the Maldives National University to develop rangers, including through a specialized basic rangers course. The government is also undertaking specific initiatives to strengthen the management of protected areas and generate economic benefits from them. It has said that once protected areas are managed sustainably and opportunities are created for tourists to experience them, these areas can begin to generate revenue. The government has therefore said it is giving particular priority to efforts aimed at developing the protected areas while ensuring their long-term sustainability.
Under Washington's crippling oil embargo against Cuba, an exception that allows U.S. firms to export fuel to private Cuban businesses kickstarts chaotic black market and upright the lid of an energy sector tightly controlled by the state ever since Dwight Eisenhower was in the White House.
Oil shipments from Cuba's traditional suppliers Venezuela and Mexico ended abruptly after the U.S. ousted Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro in January. U.S. Coast Guard cutters patrol the waters of Cuba, while sanctions and threats have dissuaded tankers from even setting sail. The embargo has hobbled essential state-run services like the healthcare system, public transport and school. But under the Commerce Department exception, a trickle of gasoline and diesel is reaching private restaurants, retailers and taxis, the first significant landing of U.S. fuel on the Caribbean island since Castro nationalized refineries after the 1959 revolution. Reuters could not determine which U.S. companies are shipping fuel to Cuba, but there is no major sign oil traders are involved. Some is resold on the black market, allowing those who can afford it to keep gas in their tank or in home generators, blunting the impact of collapse in public transport, the rolling blackouts, and by powering home pumps the country's faltering water distribution system. While providing some relief, the new system is sharpening wealth disparities. While only enough to fulfill the country's energy needs for about 9 days, the 900,000 barrels of U.S. fuel imported from February to May have opened the door to big changes. Reuters reporters found during visits to black market distribution sites and legal wholesalers and in conversations with business owners, economists, diplomats and sanction experts. When the national grid collapsed shortly after 11 p.m. on Sunday evening this month, Havana was plunged into darkness, but a few restaurants and shops were lit up thanks to generators running on imported fuel. A thriving resale market has bloomed in plain sight. Black market prices peaked at an eye-watering $10 a liter this spring before easing as the volume of imports grew. Seeking to avoid paralysis from the oil blockade, the government authorized private businesses to import fuel for their own use for the first time in February.
The United Nations directs its Security Council session to growing violence in the West Bank.
A UN inquiry released earlier this month found that Israeli authorities were directly involved in settler attacks that have killed, displaced, and injured Palestinians in West Bank. According to United Nations figures, 18 Palestinians have been killed in incidents linked to settler attacks so far this year, compared with 17 in the whole of 2025.
While the fragile ceasefire in Gaza and regional tensions can consume much of the international community's attention, the West Bank is at the breaking point. And this has not been a sudden deterioration. It's the result of the decades of unresolved conflict that has deepened the unlawful Israeli occupation, driven the Palestinian Authority to the brink of collapse, and undermined the prospects for an independent, viable, and sovereign Palestinian state.
UN bodies, Palestinians, and most countries view the settlement as illegal under international conventions and a major obstacle to peace. Israel disputes that the settlements are illegal. Crucial benefactor United States made clear where it was drawing its lines. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz has vowed to expand military operations in the West Bank in the wake of recent attacks. The Palestinians see the West Bank, occupied by Israel in the 1967 war, as the core of a future independent state. Netanyahu's government, which opposes Palestinian statehood, has expanded settlements there at a rapid rate.
British engineering giant JCB sets a new world land speed record of 406.320 miles per hour with its hydrogen-powered JCB Hydromax.
A new land speed record of 406.320 miles per hour was set by British engineering company JCB's hydrogen-powered JCB Hydromax car at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. The vehicle was driven by Wing Commander Andy Green, OBE, who described the attempt as an extraordinary achievement.
The JCB Hydromax team have brought the world's fastest hydrogen-powered internal combustion engine car here and absolutely obliterated all of the previous hydrogen records with a car that actually wanted to go faster. During the 2 record runs today, I actually had to lift off the accelerator and actually slow down through the measured mile because we'd hit our limiting speed. It's an extraordinary achievement.
Green drove JCB's 32-foot Hydromax car, powered by 2 of the company's hydrogen internal combustion engines, producing a combined 1,600 brake horsepower. The speed of the car is 5 to 6 times the legal limit in most countries, which Green described as creating a weird effect. The attempt comes 20 years after Green drove JCB's Diesel Max car to a FIA-certified diesel land speed record of 350.092 miles per hour at Bonneville, a mark JCB says still stands. However, Green said the record feels different. According to motorsport governing body the FIA, the former Royal Air Force Wing Commander already held the outright world land speed record after driving Thrust SSC to 763.035 miles per hour in 1997, becoming the first and only person to break the sound barrier on land. The record bit served as a showcase for a strategic bet by the British construction equipment maker. JCB has invested £100 million in hydrogen combustion technology, arguing that while batteries can work well in smaller machines, they are less suited to large excavators, loaders, and agricultural equipment that needs high power, long operating hours, and fast refueling, often on remote sites with limited charging infrastructure. Green said the team will celebrate the achievement, which he assumes will be their last, at a local restaurant near the famous test ground for automotives.
A full-scale replica of Christopher Columbus' flagship nao Santa Maria arrives at the Royal Albert Dock in Liverpool.
The original ship was one of the 3 used by Columbus's crew in 1492 when he discovered territories in the Caribbean and the Americas. The nao Santa Maria replica was built under the non-profit organization, the Nao Victoria Foundation. According to the foundation's website, the replica weighs 200 tons with a maximum length of 28.30 meters, a beam of 7.96 meters, and a draft of 3.49 meters. The ship took 14 months to build, starting in January 2017 and was completed in March 2018. The ship will remain docked in the city and open to visitors till the 14th of August.
That concludes news for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.